Welcome to the Alcohol Free Life podcast, brought to you by thesoberclub.com. I'm Janey Grace. This is for you if you've quit the booze or you'd like to, or maybe you're just sober curious. I'll bring you tips and motivation without any judgment, and there'll be inspiration from experts, quit-lit authors, and sober heroes. Hi and welcome to the podcast. It was so great to see some of you at Club Soda a few days ago. We're going to be playing you that whole live episode. But just before we hit into that, just a quick reminder that Monday, 15th of December, I'm going to be hosting a free webinar, Explore a Career as a Sober Coach. I realise if you're listening to this and you've only just in the early days of sobriety, you think, what the hell is she on about? But there'll be many of you listening who have been sober for a while, and maybe now you're starting to think, you know what, I'm a little bit unfulfilled in everything I do. I'd love to support other people. So come along to this webinar and see if you can discover your purpose. It's absolutely not salesy. It's actually really lovely to connect with like-minded people and other sober enthusiasts. So come along if you can, Monday, 15th of December, 7:30 p.m. You can find the link by clicking on the show notes for this podcast, or if you go to thesoberclub.com/events, you'll see the link there, Explore a Career as a Sober Coach. So hopefully see some of you Monday, 15th of December. Also, just a reminder that if you are not yet a member of the Sober Club, it was so lovely to have you as part of our community. Whether you are day one or whether you've been sober for years, it's well-being that we focus on, really, and we cover absolutely everything. Great to see a whole bunch of podcast listeners on our Bossing a Sober Christmas webinar. If you missed it, you can read the notes for that or watch the recording, or listen to the recording, I should say. So you're welcome to do that. Grab some tips for a sober Christmas. But do consider joining us in the Sober Club. Join at the 2025 prices, because the monthly subscription is going to be rising for new members in January. So it'd be great to come on down now and have the benefit of everything that we offer in the Sober Club. It's low cost, it's very high value. It would be lovely to have you as part of it. And now you are going to love this. If you are part of it, listen out for yourself cheering. And if not, I hope you really enjoy this interview, this chat with Andy, and just soak up some of the wonderful live atmosphere at Club Soda. And make sure you join us for the next one. Have you quit the booze, loving sobriety, but feeling unfulfilled in the work that you do? Have you been wondering about stepping into a rewarding career, helping the growing number of sober curious people to create a life they don't need to escape from? Join us for a free webinar where you can discover your purpose and find out more about what it means to be an accredited sober coach. Imagine yourself working from anywhere in the world that you choose within 8 weeks of starting this program. The next webinar is Monday, 15th of December, 7:30 p.m. Click on the show notes to register or go to thesoberclub.com/events. So, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Alcohol Free Life podcast. Yeah, live from Club Soda. I'm Janey Grace, you probably know that, and I am so delighted that my very special guest is none other than the incredible Andy Ramage. Yay! Look at that. What a star, Andy. I mean, I'm not quite sure where to start because we've got so much to chat about, haven't we? But we'll cover it all. We'll cover your amazing new drink that I only realised recently you have, Authentic Brew, right?
Yes.
That's really exciting. Your movie, film, documentary, whatever we're calling it, which is so exciting, Going Dry. A ton of other stuff as well. And we just discovered that we're both going to be in Orlando in January. You'd forgotten you were going.
Yes, I know. I've got to get a flight and accommodation.
You're going to get a flight. But before we do that, there might be people listening to this who are not aware of everything you do yet, because there's people new joining all the time, isn't there? So can you take us right back to, your story from whenever? Feel free. Come. People walking past, come through.
This is a new thing for me, live podcast.
Yes, I know you're normally on the other side of the mic. I get that completely. So it's going to be weird for you. You're going to be starting asking me questions, which is absolutely fine. But yeah, take us all the way back.
Yeah, so I guess my story begins as a 16-year-old footballer. That was my original career, and then unfortunately injury ended that career, age 21.
Were you actually a pro footballer then?
Yep.
Wow.
A lower league professional footballer, and I loved it. It was like the greatest gift to play football. I scored 1 goal in the Football League.
One, always better than none.
Exactly. It wasn't. It was a thunderbolt from about 2 yards. But that was my boyhood dream. It was to play in the league and score a goal, and I achieved it and then got injured, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. That must have been such a thing.
It was devastating in many ways. So I packed up my boots. I put gel through my... Every footballer has a shocking haircut, don't they? Mine was really long and ginger.
I thought you were going to say I had a mullet.
It was terrible. But I then travelled the world with my now wife, Tara.
Hello, Tara.
There's Tara down there. And we went on a great... And do you know what? We had a bloody brilliant time.
She thought she was going to be a
28.
footballer's wife.
Yes.
But then look what happened.
Not quite. And then ended up back in the city in the world of commodities broking, which was a whole new world. It was a bit like sport, fast-paced, electric, high stress, high reward. And that came with a magic card that I could take to any restaurant or any bar and get free stuff.
Yeah.
And that's effectively what I did for 10 years. And I loved it, I must admit, until I didn't love it as much anymore. And we had young children coming through, and I was tired all the time, was out all the time.
Hell of a drinking culture.
Yeah, it was just part of what we did. And I had that reflective moment about late 30s of there's got to be more to life than this. Just the drudgery, the tiredness, the constant hangovers hanging around, and decided to take a break. And I took a break only really meant to be for 28 days at the time. And it just continued on and on and on. 28 days became 90, became 365 and onwards, almost 14 years.
Wow,
now, 14
is it really?
Years. Yes,
wow, give him a massive round of applause. Oh,
on this
God, that's
adventure.
amazing. That is amazing.
But what I do remember at the time of trying to go alcohol-free, and I think hopefully it's poignant for everyone listening, was that it is really scary at first. In a world that's awash with alcohol, there was so much social pressure. There was none of these amazing drinks back then, as you know yourself. I mean, there wasn't any. No. Full stop. I think
white wine was like literally vinegar, wasn't it?
Yeah, you couldn't.
And the beers were, just lousy
or non-existent.
Yeah.
So I found it really difficult at the start. People would pressurize me, and the classic sort of rubber arm, don't be so boring, and twist me back into it. My number one fear, I always joke about it, which is true, if I go sober, how the hell am I going to dance at weddings?
Yeah.
How's that going to happen?
It would depend if you could dance first.
Well, that is true.
I'm finding this out.
Which I can't, although Strictly is calling for me at some point. It's my favourite show.
You should have done this charity thing with me. We could have partnered
up.
I
know, but I didn't know. Next time. Most definitely next time. But yeah, that momentum was really starting to build.
How did your mates respond? And you mentioned the sort of sober shamers and, or go on. But did your friendship group, as it were, did they start to accept it, or was it really difficult?
Yeah, they got on top of it really quickly. My big moment was 6 months into my challenge, as it were. I had my 40th in Dublin, which was huge for me, back to see all our old friends that we hadn't seen for a long while, and many of them didn't know I wasn't drinking.
Right.
So it's my 40th, I've organised all the things, black tie event, free drink, food, the whole shebang. I'm not drinking. But I'm meeting my friends and telling them that I'm not drinking, many of them for the first time. Most of them were on side. My best friend turned around and said, you can stand in that corner. That's the boring corner.
That's the naughty chair.
Yeah, and when you want to have a drink, you can come out.
Oh,
that was his opening line. But
wow.
Saying that, he's my biggest supporter now. So I think people just need to adjust, don't they? They need to make sense of what it is, and he can see the benefits that it bestowed upon me. And now many of my other friends that were there that night now don't drink.
Right.
So absolute game changer how that's spread amongst our own friendship group, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And then tell us about more recent years then. So you did 1 year no beer, which was, you guys did amazing things, didn't you?
Yeah, that was the original challenge, and that originated out of me trying to go alcohol free and finding it difficult. I felt like I needed an excuse to tell people, basically. I didn't really have the courage to say I wasn't drinking, but if I said I was on a challenge, it got a bit easier.
Yeah.
And then that was the origin of a rhyme that entered my head, 1 year no beer, and then we started this whole movement around it, and I loved it in those original days. That was really sort of fresh and new, and not many people quite got it, and we built that from scratch, and I had so much fun with that, and essentially what I still do some 14 years later, which is pretty cool, isn't it?
It really is, and I'm sure you'd agree. I'm always saying this, but when I got to year one, I remember thinking, oh, it's probably all going to get a bit flat now then, and I've kind of done everything, and that will be it. But literally every single year gets better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Every single year.
And I find myself now, 14 years later, still cheering people on in the exact same way I did pretty much 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Which has got to be a good sign, right?
Totally.
If something's so passionate or you love something that much that you're willing to have that excitement and interest in it, 14 years later, I think speaks volumes.
Yeah, because it's just so completely life-changing, isn't it? It's amazing. But what do you think are some of the pressures for guys particularly? Because, you know, I have some guys in the sober club that will just say, you know, I'm doing okay, but actually if I'm going to go to a social event, I'm really scared. It's often this socialising that is literally the thing that makes people afraid to even do this. Actually, the reality is once they do, they usually find it's not as bad as they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I discovered this even quite recently. I definitely get a bit of social anxiety, but I think everyone does.
Yeah.
And I would say I drunk a lot to overcome that uncomfortable psychological feeling of just feeling a bit socially awkward.
Yeah.
And then what I discovered was this amazing thing that actually, if you don't drink, and the way I discovered this, Matt Pink had his no booze cruise.
Oh, yeah, they were great fun.
They were great fun, weren't they? Yeah, on the Thames. So I'm on that boat, and there's 250 people on the boat. It's completely, you know, full. And I got that real sense of, I want to get off. You know, like there's too many people, there's too much going on. And that's when I typically, I think, would have had a drink almost to try and quieten that noise in my head. But I had no option, because now we're on the Thames. I can't get off the boat. And what I found was that after about 10 minutes, obviously my brain realised there was no threat, there was no need to panic, no need to run. All of that anxiety just went.
Yeah.
And then I realised I'd probably been drinking for 20 years. To overcome something, had I waited for 15 minutes, would have gone on its own anyway.
And the reality is, if you'd had the alcohol, it actually would have made it worse, because it's depressant anyway.
Completely. And you get
all
caught
the
into
lies
that
we
trap.
tell ourselves.
Yeah.
It's scary, isn't it? And then after 1 year no beer, take us through the next bit.
So the next adventures really then were around Try, which is our other organisation, which is an app, DIYY, which we love. Similar thing to 1 Year No Beer in many ways, trying to bring community together, connection together, online, offline, to inspire people really to join us on the fun side of the island and just take a break. That's always been my approach, and I really try and stick to it. Every now and again I veer from it slightly. Not that I get into finger wagging, but I have to try and keep myself away from that. I've just done the same thing over and over again for the best part of 14 years, which is just celebrate all of the wins.
Yeah,
what are the benefits you get from taking a break? And if you stay focused on those, I think it's a really good way to change a relationship or change a habit. Surround that by great community and brilliant people. Yeah. And we change so many people's lives. That for me is the greatest gift, that buzz of contribution, giving back, being part of a movement or something that adds value to people's lives, I think is really special.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? And tell us about the movie then, because well, it sounds really exciting. So I came to one of your events where you were doing a little bit of film. I don't know if I'm on the cutting room floor.
I think you might have made it in.
Almost certainly.
Helen's in. Helen behind me's in.
Oh, Helen,
from
you're
Sober
in.
Dating. Helen's all over it.
So yeah, tell us how it all came about and, you know, what we're going to get to see.
Yeah, well, the irony of that is it's always been said I've got a great face for radio. So then I've got this...
No, I think you find I've got a great face for radio.
A guy called John Hyatt was a brilliant director, made a movie called Screened Out, which is all about phone usage and our children. His next movie was around health and well-being. He'd literally gone all over the world, Peter Attia's of this world. I'm sure most people are familiar with the likes of Peter Attia. Speaking about health and wellness, not one of these experts mentioned alcohol. Wow. None of them. And he got to the end of that, got onto some of my stuff and sort of got in touch and said, this is nuts. I've just spoken to literally the world's best thinkers, thought leaders in the world of health. None of them have mentioned alcohol. What on earth's going on there? Can you be in my documentary to talk about alcohol? Which I did, agreed to. And then I pinged back pretty quickly and said, John, there's got to be a documentary on alcohol-free. Yeah. At which he came straight back and said, as soon as this documentary's done, I agree, let's do it. So then we've been working on it for about 2.5 years now. Yeah. Travelled all over North America. We put 6 participants through a break from alcohol. I coach them through the process. So they're average middle lane drinkers, track them, their stats, their blood work, as well as all the psychological wins and benefits. And that really is the backbone of the arc of the story. And then we spin out into all the great thought leaders and thinkers and researchers to really try and unpick some of those myths around alcohol to find out what it actually is and what it's really doing to us. And it's cool. If you've seen the trailer, it's got that Netflix-style movie look to it. And I really think it's going to inspire many, many people to come and join us.
That's fantastic to actually do the kind of, the if you like, the science bit as well, because, you know, we can rave till the cows come home about how fantastic it is, but some people really want that evidence, don't they, that the blood's changed, that the health really has improved. So the fact that you've included that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it was important to showcase real people actually doing it, rather than me just saying this stuff's amazing, like I do some 14 years on, to have real people that. And what's great about the doc, they did such a good job of this. They tracked them, and we filmed everything. So we filmed them when they were drinking, as well.
Right.
So
okay,
through that
great.
process of drinking, what that felt like.
So there really is a before and after.
Yeah, and then through the process of taking a 60 to 90 day break.
Amazing.
And then tracking that experience. So it's a really like lived experience that you can see.
And did they remain non-drinkers?
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, you can't. It's a spoiler alert.
But I'm going to say some of them
did.
still to this day.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That is amazing. I think those kind of docs are really, really powerful. It's a great. I didn't know you'd done that piece of it.
Yeah.
I think it's really powerful. I remember years ago, you know Jason Vale, the Juice Master. I'm sure he's a good friend of mine, and he did Super Juice Me. And he did exactly that, took a bunch of people, I think it was, 6 or 8 or whatever, and literally tracked them. So they arrived at Juicy Oasis, the retreat. And I always remember there was one guy with a suitcase worth of medication that he took, literally a suitcase worth of meds. And then they put them through the program. And again, they did all the testing and everything. At the end of the month or whatever, the guy just had 2 pills that he had to take.
So
and
cool.
a completely empty suitcase. And it's really powerful. It's really powerful,
to see
that stuff.
And
to see
Jason
the before and
Vale,
after.
I just want to highlight Jason Vale because I think he's brilliant. He wrote a book called
Kick the Drink Easily. That's the first one I read.
That was the book that changed my relationship with alcohol.
Exactly.
It was genius.
That was the book that kick-started all the other books, actually.
Yeah.
Annie's and everyone's, actually.
Because his approach, it was the first time I read a book that wasn't doom and gloom. It was the first book that said, what are you missing out on?
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
bloody
There's
nothing.
nothing
This is going to be
miss
the
out
best
on.
thing you've ever done for yourself. And I remember reading that book thinking, that's it.
Yeah. Have you met him? You met Jason?
No,
you'd love him. You'd love him. We'll have to get you together.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, you know, it's a great book. So I'm so excited for the doc. So when is it? When will we see it?
So we will see it in spring. So right at the moment, we've got the rough cut, they call it.
Yeah.
Hollywood words. So we'll have something to watch, me personally and a few others, and then we'll refine it and tweak it. But it should be ready by spring. Where it ends up, we still don't know. There's loads of talks going on at the moment. It could end up literally on a streaming service, from your Amazon Prime to your Netflix, or it could end up on YouTube or a mixture of all things, or terrestrial TV. There's loads of stuff going on.
Wow.
But it will be somewhere to watch spring 2026.
And it's called Going Dry. Yeah?
Called Going Dry. Yeah, we wrestled with that title forever. But anyway.
It's a great title.
Oh, good.
And how amazing, guys. Listen, I'm getting to interview him first, and you're getting to meet him
movie star.
first. Literally a movie star. And Helen, who's in the movie as well.
Yes, Helen.
Another movie star.
No,
behind a cushion.
She's good.
I've had years of looking at things behind a cushion. Super exciting. It really is. It's great. And then how did the drink come about? I didn't even realise you'd done this, and it's a beautiful can. Look at this. Isn't it pretty?
Cool, isn't it?
Authentic Brew. I love that. I love your little logo.
Yeah,
so tell us what's in it and you know how the whole thing came about.
Yeah, it came about. Mike, who's there, Mike Moody.
There
he is.
Mike.
Look at Mike, looking all fab.
The other half of Authentic Brew.
Yes, the brains, and it does everything, basically.
Okay.
So Mike actually had a really interesting story. I was coaching Mike for a while, as coaching's part of what I do. He was an elite performer in a real top-end sales business. And then Mike actually achieved what he was dreaming of achieving, which was exiting from a company. And then the next day, couldn't walk, couldn't move, was bedbound for days. Imagine that, the stress and strain put on his body through that process, literally shut down his motor system, effectively. Wow. Tried to get healed through traditional medicine, really didn't have much to say, and eventually went on a mission himself to heal himself holistically, Mother Nature-based. And that introduced Mike to loads of different concepts, but what he realised really quickly, as did I, that there was no genuine health drinks. They might pretend and market as real health drinks, but they're not when you lift the cover as such.
Exactly.
And going alcohol-free through that process as well, led him on this inspirational moment of, right, I'm going to put something together, no compromise, so premium wellness, Mother Nature based, in a can. And I'll take you through some of the ingredients because they're worth hearing about.
Please do.
So what Mike's done brilliantly really is a pioneer of functional energy. And functional means there's additional benefits above and beyond the health benefits that you can actually feel.
Yeah.
So if you drink a can of that, you get a nice warm lift. It's an energy drink, effectively, holistic one, but it's caffeine-free, no additives, it's vegan-friendly, alcohol-free, you name it, it's top end. But what's really nice, it gives you a nice functional lift. You get a nice little warm, it's like a big cuddle from Mother Nature. That's what we say.
Tell us what's in it then.
So it's got 3 types of mushrooms. Lion's mane.
Actual adaptogens, amazing.
Yeah. So it's got lion's mane, which is like the brain mushroom, they call it. It's got reishi, which is known as the mushroom of immortality.
Cool, I'll have some of that.
So
quitting alcohol is the best anti-aging hack ever, and now we've got a bit of that in as well.
It keeps you young. And then chaga, which is another mushroom, which is like that wild and energetic root. L-theanine, which is incredible for brain function. Hawthorn essence, which is in Chinese medicine known as like the heart tonic.
Yeah.
So the combination of all these different things, radiola, which is the golden root it's known as. No one's ever put all of these in one drink. Hasn't been done. So it's completely pioneering. So we're incredibly excited about it. The type of benefits you get from that are calming, soothing, energy, better sleep. We've got medical research going on right at the moment to see where that comes out. So I'm just really excited about the fact that it tastes amazing. It's got genuine health benefits, and I think it's going to be really good for all those in the alcohol-free space, just to have something that, again, feels grown up, that's genuinely healthy. Because I think what happens when you go alcohol-free, there's many brilliant options in here. Sometimes you get pushed towards fizzy drinks, or drinks actually that are not that good for you, in truth. Absolutely. It's nice to have something that caffeine-free, no additives, that people can really enjoy.
Yeah, how exciting.
Yeah.
And where is it going to be sold then?
It's going to be
here, I guess.
Well, it's going to be direct as well on the website, authenticbrew.com.
Yeah.
It's the place to go. But there's one big bit that I got involved that I didn't mention that is really important. The reason that I'm involved, forget all the drink stuff, is that 7 years ago, I put all my goals together. And I do this on quite a regular basis. And this particular year, I put them all in a infographic, I call it, which is basically like a large poster, effectively.
Like a vision board, but yeah.
And I put that on the wall and I looked at it. Yeah. And bear in mind, 6 years ago, I was still full-time working as a commodities broker. So one of those goals was to go full-time and do what I love. One of them was to set up a coaching business. One of them to set up a coach training business, start a podcast, write a book. I mean, tick, tick, tick. These are all massive, big, hairy, audacious goals at the time. And then I put some other big ones up, inspired 10 million people to go alcohol-free. We're working on that one.
Yeah.
But one of them was appear on Strictly. It's going to happen. Just putting that out into the universe right now. It's going to happen.
I did too. And it's a charity thing for Strictly Come Hospital. It's okay.
See, this is it. This is it happening. I'm getting closer to it even for this conversation. But the other big one was plant 10 million trees. It was my sort of uneducated attempt at doing something for climate change. I've got young daughters, and I remember my daughter getting really upset one day about climate change, and I was sort of doing my super dad bit and was like, don't worry, I'm going to do something about it. And then I put it on that infographic and forgot about it. And the reason I do it is because it switches your brain on to opportunity in the universe. And then Mike turns up with this incredible idea for the drink. But then the bit that sold it for me was that, and this is massive, 25% of the net profits is going to a foundation to rewild people and places, effectively environmental causes. Yeah. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm in. Because I want to be part of a business that does good in the world.
So it's a truly ethical business.
Totally,
amazing.
That's what it's about. Not only the ingredients are Mother Nature based and ethical, so is the business itself.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love it. And you're right. I mean, vision boards. I sometimes do vision board workshops, and I've been doing them for years and years and years. Although I've forgotten about it lately. I definitely need to do another one. But they are literally incredible. Has anyone here done a vision board? Some of you, some of you have. If you haven't, honestly, you have to do it. Everyone has to do a vision board, for whatever it is you want. And I always say to people, if you don't know what you want, that's okay too. You can literally just kind of look through a bunch of mags and newspapers or whatever, and you just kind of see what appeals to you and what jumps out. Or you just ask yourself, what is it that I want to feel more of? So what do I want to feel more like, as it were? And then choose pictures that inspire that. And honestly, I mean, we haven't got all night, but I've got some amazing stories about stuff that's happened as a result of vision boards, both for people I've worked with and for myself. It literally is incredible. It's as if you allow your unconscious mind to sort of bring it to the forefront, stick the picture up that you know what it means, only you need to know what it means, and the universe brings it to you. And I tell you one little story because it's funny. So I did one years ago, and there was all the things on this vision board that you'd expect there to be for someone like me, a lot of which came true. But then I cut out this picture of this little scruffy little black dog. And at the time, my kids were really young, and they were always banging on at us to get a dog. Well, we've got 4 kids. It's enough already, right? And I just could not cope with a pet. I just couldn't cope with it. So I found myself putting this picture of this little dog. I bring the vision board home, and the kids are like, "Oh, thank you, thank God." And I said, no, I do not, I'm not getting a dog. So I was in this weird situation where I created a vision board, and I had something on there that I was hoping wouldn't happen. It was really bizarre, and I had no idea why I'd put it there. And a couple of weeks later, someone knocks at the door, literally holding the actual dog on a lead, and she said, "Meet Teddy. I thought maybe your kids would like to walk him." It was a neighbour, right? So we literally got to borrow the dog.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So I got the wish without any of the responsibility. Now that's the result, right?
I love that.
And there's a million of those stories. So everyone has to do a vision board, right? And look at
yours
all
year.
Coming true.
Well, exactly. And genuinely, I can go back and I can show you that infographic and tick, 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 almost all the way around. So we've got to plant 10 million trees out there. So maybe we'll get there. It's happening. There we go.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That is really great. Just one quick question on your fabulous drink. Obviously, you don't have any artificial sweeteners, do you?
No.
No. Good. I'm so pleased about that. It's something that I spend my life telling people because, you know, if you buy sort of crappy drinks, energy drinks, as you say, or soft drinks in supermarkets, if you don't come to a place like this and buy proper grown-up stuff, and you buy stuff in the supermarket, so many clients will say to me, "Oh, be really proud of me. I've got an energy drink or I've got something rather than alcohol." But then you find out it's got artificial sweeteners in it. And then you've got to start the whole process again, trying to explain why they're so evil.
Yeah, and I think, you know, for us, it's a premium product for that reason. Yeah. If you see it, if it's cheap, there's a reason for that. But equally, you know, I look at our advertising. Yeah. You know, we've just seen Lando Norris win the F1 championship. I love the F1. But it's full of 2 things, alcohol and energy drinks.
Right.
Look at Lily, all sport, alcohol and energy drinks is the main like armory in terms of the advertising, both of which you could make a really strong argument are terrible for you.
Exactly.
Yet we're aiming that at our young kids and everyone. Like a lot of their heroes are drinking these products or looking like they are drinking these products. Yeah. So I think, it's some really interesting, you know, for us, almost a bit of a fight back against that to try and provide something that genuinely is healthy. And we're seeing that through the people that want to get involved, that are value-based, that want to really, you know, get involved with Authentic Brew, which is really cool.
Yeah, really exciting. So the movie's out in spring. Should we call it a movie?
Let's call it a movie. Movie sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And the Authentic Brew is out now.
It's out now. Literally
Amazing.
just launched. AuthenticBrew.com is where you can get it from.
Great. If I'd waited 6 months, you'd never would have spoken to me. You would not. You'd have been
too late.
Way too famous.
Not quite.
Brilliant. And you're going to have planted how many trees? 10?
By then, 10 million.
10 million trees within 6 months?
Oh, yes. Mike's frantically waving at me. Just to let everyone know, there is an Authentic Brew for everyone in the room, pretty much, before you go. Okay. Do you want to try one? Amazing. There you go.
Brilliant. Amazing stuff. It's a really good question, just in case for anyone listening who didn't quite hear the question. You know, if someone, you know, how do you share with other people? Actually, it's a really good idea. I mean, I don't know what you would say. I would say it's actually really difficult if someone's not ready. There's no point in sort of evangelizing to people who are not ready. You can really only talk about your own experience. But what would you say?
Yeah, and what was your name? Sorry? Kieran. Good man, Kieran. I think you're doing the best thing you can possibly do, and that is just showing up and shining the message as you. Still socialising clearly with those friends, being in the pubs and having your alcohol-free drink whilst they have theirs, looking great, feeling great, getting more stuff done. I think that's the best thing we can possibly do. Yeah. People have to be ready to change, so we can't force it upon them. And I think that's probably why anything that is a because will backfire, rather than you just showing up and shining that message. Equally, I think the other option, though, is to take a break. Like, why wouldn't you just take a little break just to test the system?
Yeah.
28 days, just see, does it work for you? And if at the end of that, you feel fitter, faster and healthier, and you've had a great experience, brilliant. What a worthwhile experiment.
And coming up to January is obviously a great time. Makes it a lot easier when everyone else is doing it, right?
Exactly. Jan's a brilliant time to take it off. Again, with the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
Though. What are you gaining through the experience rather than what are you losing?
Yeah. I never let anyone use the phrase giving up. No one is allowed to say giving up because there's nothing to give up, is there? And that's the twist, isn't it, really? If you go through January sort of gritting your teeth and counting the days, then you can have a miserable experience. But if you just literally notice all the benefits, then you notice every single thing you're gaining.
Yeah, and there's so many, isn't there? I'm sure we could go around the room and million, all of us could come up with all these incredible benefits from more time, more energy. We would literally
be here all night, wouldn't we? Who has found amazing benefits from being alcohol-free? Give us a show of hands. Yes, I think that's quite a lot of people.
What about cheer if you've had some benefits?
Yeah, come on, let's hear. Give me a hell
so people listening can see that or feel it.
No, absolutely. Any other questions for Andy?
Yes.
Oh, this is Mike's story. Do you want to come and take the mic?
Mike.
The mic, Mike. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you very much.
It's on. Just speaking to it. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so I was just trying to understand the question fully.
We want to know a bit about what happened to you after you couldn't walk.
Yeah. How did you heal yourself?
Yeah, so I was, like Andy said, 15 years in tech and achieved everything that I thought I needed to achieve to have fulfillment. And the sort of the day I handed in my laptop and went to bed, the very next morning I couldn't get out of bed. And that lasted probably about 3 months. Couldn't lift an arm, couldn't look at any lights, couldn't pick up a fork to feed myself. It was pretty bad. So I went the medical route and everything was fine, and it was just prescription of antidepressants, sleeping tablets, painkillers, the usual. But yeah, something inside said that's not the path for you, and I went the holistic road and met some amazing people.
Were you drinking at that point as well?
Sort of on and off, but when I was flat on my back, it was come off caffeine, alcohol, and sugar. So yes, met some amazing people in the holistic world, and I suppose they showed me a world that I had no idea even existed. I was like blinkered to climb my mountain of ego, which I climbed. So I was opened up to this whole new world of just Mother Nature, simple things like deep tissue massage, like reflexology, Indian head massage, eating things that are from the earth, like mushrooms and even bark of trees. They were going out foraging and brewing up teas for me to bring me back to health. So no medicine in sight, and quite quickly got back to sort of full power. So I looked to the market for products to try and help me maintain my recovery, and I couldn't find anything, like nothing. Yeah. It was all labelled as healthy and good for you, but like Andy said, under the covers it was not good. So we got a team in 3 different continents to go and look out for some cool products for us, and we gave them a prescription of the things that we wanted. And they came back empty-handed as well. So Authentic Brew was born.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mike.
That's that.
Amazing. Thank you. Was there another question?
I'm trying to remember it now.
Oh, look, you get a mic.
One of the things I love about meeting you again, Janey, is just your enthusiasm comes through, and with you as well, Andy. And what I wanted to ask was there a moment in your sobriety when you sort of realised it was to celebrate, and like it moved away from the difficult parts that we have when we start, and when we're sort of fixing ourselves and stopping drinking, and when it becomes something to enthuse about?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier actually. It was reading Jason Vale's book. It was just such an impactful read for me, because that was the first book that actually made me change my frame of reference about alcohol. Up until that point, I was getting caught in that loop of what am I missing out on, what am I not going to get going forward? Then I read Jason's book and went, actually, what am I missing out on? Absolutely bloody nothing. Hangovers and tiredness, what am I gaining? And that was a real, and why I wanted to highlight Jason as soon as you mentioned his name, Janey, is that was really powerful to me. That was a seminal moment for me that shifted my mindset. And really, I've just followed along doing that ever since. In literally everything that I say and put out into the world pretty much is the same type of approach of what are the benefits, what are the gains. And I think that moves people away from the losses and towards something that feels exciting. And hopefully that helps a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think when you catch sight of that better life without alcohol, every time I tried to quit in the past over the years, I tried many, many times, what would happen is I would sort of reach a point where I just thought, oh, well, I've kind of done that now, and I managed to do that for 28 days or however long. And then there was never really a good enough reason not to carry on, because I hadn't taken any note of any of the benefits. I'd simply been just counting the days, or I'd only been thinking what I was missing out on. So it literally is flipping it completely and just committing to never mentioning the phrase give up, and instead just focus literally on everything you're gaining. And even if you just jot down 5 things every day that you've noticed from being alcohol free, and they can be tiny, tiny, tiny things, but they mount up, and they mount up in your unconscious mind, and you start to build those associations with the good stuff being associated with choosing not to drink, you know. So yeah, I mean, I remember being it was quite interesting for me, because I forgot everything I knew in the early weeks of, you know, even though I'm totally holistically minded and totally focused on good nutrition and everything to do with well-being. When I first quit, I literally forgot everything. It was very strange. I didn't sort of tell anyone. I felt really guilty. I was feeling completely miserable. And something switched for me when I don't even know how it came about, but I heard about Morning Gloryville. And so when I was 3 months, I went to a 6 a.m. rave at the Ministry of Sound. And I'm there, and I managed to drag a friend along who wasn't even sober. I don't know what the hell she thought I was doing. It was my birthday, so she came for my birthday. So there we are outside the Ministry of Sound at 6:30, you know, in the pitch dark. And then we go in, and there's this completely sober rave going on. I mean, you can't get any better than that. You actually can't, can you? That's living, really. Yeah. It was absolutely amazing. And then something switched, and I suddenly thought, hold on, I'm not missing out on anything. There is nothing to miss out on here.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a nice question about celebration, really nice question. And that's exactly what we can do at Christmas, isn't it, really? Focus on all the good things.
Yeah, and again, I think it's that time of being connected. And also for me, you know, in my past life as a broker, I would look at my social calendar over Christmas, and it would fill me with dread.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be excited by it. It'd be like, oh, how am I going to get through that? You know, the work do, the friends do, Christmas itself. And we had young children at the time, and waking up on Christmas Day, just like jaded, just absolutely like tired.
I tell you what, isn't it ever the best parenting hack? That is my only regret, not doing it sooner.
Yeah, for me it absolutely was. And, you know, to wake up on Christmas Day energised.
I mean, they're going to wake you up at 4 a.m. anyway, so, you know, best if you haven't had a drink, right?
Exactly. And then I didn't even mind, like, doing the plastic toys and stuff. No,
exactly.
Those together.
I always remember I had one client, and she'd only been sober about 3 weeks, and she rang me and she said it had been snowing, and she said it was a Sunday morning, and her kid came and woke her at 5:30 a.m. and said, "Mummy, it's snowing." And by 6, she was out playing snow angels in the garden. She said that would never have happened.
Yeah.
But that's joy, isn't it, right there?
Joy, right there. The bits that you miss out on, it's those little bits that make all the difference in the long run. And I think that's what you get back. I think it's joy. That's a lovely way to describe it.
Is. Well, Andy, thank you so much. It's absolutely fantastic to chat to you, and I can't wait for your movie.
Yes.
I think you should commit, actually, to coming and be, you know, chatting to me when the movie's
100%.
out first. I think
100%.
I should get the premiere.
The exclusive.
Oh, can I come to the premiere?
Yeah, we will.
Well, I'll come with Helen.
Brilliant. we will be doing a little roll.
I'll hang on to Helen's shirt tails, because she's in the movie. I'll tell everyone that I was in it, but I ended up in the cutting room floor. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much to Andy, and thank you so much to Club Soda for hosting us. We absolutely love you guys and everything you do. Don't forget the webinar webinar for the Sober Club. If you're not a member of the Sober Club, check that out as well, thesoberclub.com. And thank you so much for coming. You're welcome to stick around, of course, and have a drink and everything. And thanks again, Andy. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
There will be another live podcast recording. I'm hoping we might be able to fit another one in January. So watch this space for that. What's definitely happening in January is January the 2nd, setting your intentions for 2026. Now, I do this every year. It's a real deep dive workshop. So it's a couple of hours. You will need your notebook and pen. There'll be a meditation as part of it as well. I'm going to have a special guest. It's a fantastic opportunity to focus on you, what you want to let go of from the year gone, and what you want to set your intentions for the coming year. So I really hope you can join us for this one. It's Friday, 2nd of January at 4 p.m. And as I say, I'll have a special guest. You do have to register for this one. There's a small fee. If you go to thesoberclub.com, click on events, you'll see it there. And if you know that you're not going to be able to make it, register anyway, and then you'll get the full video recording afterwards. And also, don't forget, Monday 15th, so in just a few days' time, if you're interested in exploring a career as a sober coach, or you're just wondering, some point in the future, would I like to do some training like this to really transform my own sobriety, transform my own well-being, then check that out as well. Monday 15th of December at 7:30 p.m. Just again, look at the show notes or go to thesoberclub.com/events. And yet one more reminder, I say this every week, if you're doing this, you haven't told anyone yet, tell me, tell someone, join us in the Sober Club, or just drop me a message, because doing this on your own is hard. Particularly at this time of year. We did talk in our Christmas session last week about just how tricky it can be if it's your first Christmas, clearly, but even if you've been sober for a while, it's a time when triggers come up, all kinds of triggers, and not just around drinking. It can be, social situations around drinking, but it can also just be that at Christmas time, certain people trigger you. There's always the family member or the boss or the work colleague who just seems to escalate how you're feeling at Christmas time. It can really bring on that sense of anxiety. And, the trick here is to focus on the self-care and plan ahead for those triggers. I wrote a post called Wrap, where we looked at how you can really break it down so that you can properly take care of yourself. So I'll put a link to that post in the show notes, or if you go to thesoberclub.com, you'll find it there. But what I'm really saying is take care of yourself, plan ahead, tell someone you're doing this so that we can hold the vision for you, so that we can make sure that we hold you accountable. And, I'm not sure if I've even said it during this podcast, but trust me, it's the best thing you will ever do for your health and well-being. So if this is your first Christmas sober, you're going to love it. Trust me. See you next week. Thank you for listening to the Alcohol Free Life podcast, brought to you by the Sober Club. Please rate and review. And if you want support, accountability and inspiration, and you want to live your best life without the booze, check out thesoberclub.com.